Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 544 Pork Podcast. We're your hosts,
I'm Liam Isber.
and I'm Logan Liberator. So, Liam, what have you been up to since last week when we talked on the podcast?
School
School? Yeah, me too. What grade are you in now?
first.
First grade? Yeah, I'm in 11th. Classes hard? Are they pretty easy?
Yeah.
You playing any sports right now?
Yeah. On Saturdays I have football and soccer. This week I'm gonna miss my football game because I have my soccer tournament, and I have basketball, and I have karate.
Oh, wow, so you're pretty busy. Yeah, I'm in lacrosse right now. We had a tournament last weekend, and I have another one this weekend too. So, pretty busy with that.
Did you win last weekend?
No, we did not, unfortunately. It was a tournament, we went 1-2.
Did you score any?
I did not. But, this weekend, hopefully I'll get a goal at least. We'll have a chance to get them back.
Did you do defense?
I did. I played defense and offense. Pretty fun, though.
What's going on down? What you got? What Who's showing? Man, Logan, are you kidding me? Get on.
Smash like and subscribe.
Oh, man.
Get out of here. This is our show.
Come on, jeez. I mean, you have a good thing going, and they just want to take it from you. Kids these
What?
days.
Man, jeez. Man, this is our show.
Yeah, and all our fame. Look, these kids are going to try to come along and take it from us. Like, they're
That's
going to get all the credit for this week, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Yeah.
so, how's it
Well-
going there, Billy?
I'm great, Lebo. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Well, cheers. At least I didn't drink my drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
That probably would have been bad.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
these kids trying to take over everything.
It's like life, right? I mean, it's like as soon as they come in, it's like everything evolves around them.
Exactly. Wow.
No respect for their elders.
None. None.
Step away
Man.
from 1 second.
I wonder how much they recorded.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they were just talking. Hopefully it wasn't even recording.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and check that out.
Yes. Sound a little under the weather.
Just congestion. Just I think it's the time of the year, the changing of the weather. I always get like the seasonal allergies, so just very congested.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Hope you
Hoping it wouldn't throw my voice off. We'll have to get some of the AI and fix my voice, make sure it sounds better.
Yes. For sure. So I guess I don't know. Do we do our intro, or did they intro us, or what happened there?
Yeah, I am. I heard from upstairs. I think they did the intro for us already. I think they
I don't
took
know.
over. So,
Let me adjust this. They lowered my mic and everything.
well, I mean, Liam's a little shorter than you.
That's true. I mean, at least he went the extra mile to do things the right way, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back at it. So how was your week?
Not bad. I'm trying to think of, since we last talked, a few different things. I gotta tell you, I was not expecting having to cut the grass again. Like, it just came out of the blue. There was some rain, some cold, some sun. And then I thought I was done. And, we talked a few weeks ago, we showed our little Halloween display and we cut the grass right before doing that, and putting that big thing up. And so then I had to cut the grass again. And man, that was a beast. It's
So
like,
I said, do you pick everything up and move it around, or what?
I felt like I was literally working in a cemetery, because I'm instead of mowing, I'm weed whacking around the fence, around the gravestones, trying not to hit the skeleton. It was a pain in the butt. Typically I enjoy mowing. Usually you get some joy out of that, but this was not fun.
No, I too love the mow. I feel like you get a sense of completion. This. But yeah, not around tombstones. I don't think. Wherever you got. And, yeah. So yeah, I think that'd be miserable.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that's one of those great joys. It's one of those things you're I gotta cut the grass, but then afterwards, you said, you have that satisfaction. It's you get that nice cut, or you get that nice lines, or when you're leaving later that day, you look at it, you're man, that looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not good at many things, handy things, building, or I'm not an HVAC guy or can work on my car. So doing all that kind of stuff is not a chance. But I feel that's my one little piece of I can do this.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Handyman is not my strong suit either. I'm a good helper. tell me what to do, I could do it, but to know what to do, no, it's not my
right. Yeah, taking the lead on it, no, not a chance. Like I can definitely help. Somebody's like, hey, I'm gonna lay a floor or I'm gonna put up drywall. I'm like, yep, I can hold this up for you. I'll show them what to do. I'll work with you. But a lot of our neighbors are pretty good at that. They'll they'll lay tile, they'll redo things. And I'm like, how can't you do that? I'm like, I just can't. I don't know. Like, I could watch a YouTube video, but I'm not gonna be good.
Well, I could do it, but it never just works out right first time. I don't have the right tool.
Yeah.
Or
you're making like extra trips like to the store. It's like you don't have everything you need, and then you're like, no, I gotta go get something else. Like it's like it just doesn't work out.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I can paint. That's one thing. I can paint. Like when we painted rooms, I can paint. Like that's my like.
Pretty artistic.
Yeah.
Not that painting's an art. I guess it is. I mean, like painting walls, but you're pretty artistic. So
yeah, I mean, like there's a point to like when you trim and when you like edge like the ceilings and things. Like I don't use an edger. Like I can just get right up there with like the fine brush to kind of get in there and do it without. And it works out pretty well. That's another one of those things where you feel kind of satisfied. You like look around, like, yeah, I did that. I painted that room. So I feel good about that.
See, I can't even do that. I don't have that steady hand.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Just being a cutting grass. So you did lawns like we talked about work and different things. You did a little like lawn cutting service for a while, right?
I did. Me and Dave Dunsavage used to cut lawns. We were B&D grass cutting for 3 or 4 summers in a row.
Yeah.
I think we spent most of our money in Dairy Queen, though, before we even got home, or at the pool, snack bar.
Go in the blizzards or the snack bar at the pool, probably.
Yes, we would cut like from between 9 and noon, and then be at the pool the rest of the
right.
So we weren't real go-getters.
Yeah.
Just enough to keep us supplied in frozen pizzas and blizzards.
When you're that age, I mean, that's all you really need. That's like, so Logan was working down at Cane's for a little bit. They stopped getting him shifts. So he hasn't been working for a little bit. He quit there. And I mean, he's got money in his account, but there's not money coming in, so he's finally getting that little, like, just wanting to go to Sheets, or like he's always having lacrosse and they want to go get something to eat afterwards or go do something here and there. It's always food, like it was with us growing up. Like it's always food. We were never going to like buy shoes or like clothes or things like that. It was just going to eat somewhere, hang out. So he's realizing that. He just had an interview at Jersey Mike's, so he got a job coming up at Jersey Mike's. So moving from
give it to me Mike's way.
Yeah, moving from chicken to hoagies. So
nice. Maybe he should start a lawn care service.
Him and his buddy Nick, they really talked about they were going to try doing that here around the neighborhood, but it was like, who has a truck? How do we like get around? There was some of those big pieces that you need that they didn't have.
Yeah,
and I was like, we're not going to buy a truck just to do the lawn service.
Right.
Yeah, I said.
That's what Dave had the truck that way. It was
had the truck.
Yeah, we were already one step ahead there.
Correct. Yeah, and you could just throw them in the back. You didn't need the big trailer like they have nowadays.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we had 2 lawnmowers and 1 weed whacker. We didn't have a whole lot we didn't have a whole setup, right?
Yeah. You didn't have like an enterprise or anything and like coordinate everything.
No, like I said, we were just in it to supply us with food,
right?
For the most part.
So not to get confused with the Isber landscaping trucks that you see out there, right?
No, that's my cousin, and he is a real professional and has real equipment and does an excellent job. So there's your plug.
Is that cousin Mickey?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his company. Great work. Give him a call for all your landscaping or water needs or water drainage needs.
Yeah, we like giving local people shout outs here. We're here for the people.
We are here. Speaking of which, I'm enjoying a nice glass of Bullet bourbon again.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
for the Bullet people listening.
It's surprising. I wouldn't take that as you'd be drinking bourbon tonight. So,
I mean, I'm still just holding out for that sponsorship.
I'm joining you in that endeavor. So, sticking with the theme of trying different things that I like. Keep it guessing, keep it new. This is Basil Hayden. You've had Basil Hayden before, right?
I love Basil Hayden, yes.
So have you had Basil Hayden's toast?
I have. I like the toast.
Yeah, it's new. I had never seen it. It's new. It was Boss's Day, I think it was last week maybe, and my secretary, Michelle Rash, shout out to her, got me, she knows I'm into bourbon. She went and checked and talked to the people at the liquor store, and they're like, yeah, try this one out. So I like it. Pretty good.
Do you like it? Yeah. So what's your rating?
Yeah, I mean, it's it has a little bite to it initially, but like as I've had a few sips, it's tasting better. There is like a little smoky taste to it, I think. So maybe that's why it's called toast. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I know they make a subtle smoke, which I enjoy. They also make a cask strength or but it's not very good.
Okay.
It's very sweet. It's aged in like wine barrels.
Sometimes when they do that, yeah, that's not so good.
Yeah, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not the right taste for my palate. So
no. Yeah, her and I are pretty good at like, she'll get me bourbons, I'll get her. I think I told you before, she's the one's into tequila. So like I'll try to find like good tequilas and get her. So we have a pretty good back and forth of alcohol swapping. And yeah. And her name might sound familiar to her. She has a famous daughter, Ava Rash, that's a reporter for WTAE. So shout out to her too.
Oh yeah.
Anybody, I don't know if you're a WTAE guy, if you're a KDKA guy, but
no, I'm a TAE guy.
Are you WTAE guy?
Yeah, it's Channel 4, right?
Yeah, so she's on the morning. She's usually on the morning shift. She's a big fan of the 544 Port podcast. So
excellent. Well, thanks for being a listener.
Yes, thanks for hopefully you subscribed and liked like Liam told you to do.
Yes,
there.
That's right.
Ava Rash.
Good job. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Other things I'm trying to think of. We talked pizza recently, and we had some professional development days. And give another shout out to a local pizza place in Pleasant Hills, Yoli's Pizza.
Yoli's, which is originated in McKeesport. That's right.
Owner's Ben Barlson, McKeesport guy.
Yes.
And his sister was a roommate of yours at one point, right?
She was. Yeah, he was a roommate of mine, and gotta go with the Yoli Rolly.
Oh yeah, the Rollies, yeah, so good.
Yeah, had the pizza. I haven't had many sandwiches there. I heard there's good things though.
I didn't have a sandwich. They had a good chicken sandwich, so we went with our whole administrative team because it was an in-service day. So it's nice on those days when you get to go out and go to lunch. So like on normal school day, But they had like a new breaded chicken sandwich they had that our superintendent had. I actually wasn't like starving. I got fries. They had like some loaded fries.
All right.
I got like the Balboa fries, which are really good.
Ooh,
so it had like
nice.
Italian beef, cheese, and pepperoncinis on it. It was really good.
Nice. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, loaded fries. Somehow we always end up talking about food.
Skip dinner again today. Just not my choice, but
hold on. Yeah. Let me see what other things we can talk about.
Yeah, great. So let me ask you this question. We talked candy too last week. Are you dressing up this year?
I'd like candy, or you mean for
Halloween? I'm sorry, for Halloween. I transitioned that in my head. Yeah.
In general, typically, like at school we do. At school, I'll dress up as something, but like at home, our kids are off on their own. They're teenagers, so. Yes. We usually just sit at our driveway and pass the candy out. So usually don't dress up in something. But at school, I haven't really decided yet. Sometimes we go with a theme. Sometimes we don't. I might. I have an Amazon vest. So I might go as like an Amazon delivery person with like a box and put like a wig on and just like kind of like some funny glasses or something like that, just to look a little different. So
okay,
I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
No, I don't think we have anything on the agenda. We've done family costumes the last couple years.
Yeah.
But I think Liam's kind of branching out on his own. He was a bottle of Prime that he drank. So we didn't really do with a family bottle.
Right.
So.
You could have done a couple things. You could have did like your Red Bull, Celsius, Prime. You just
right. We could have went as a variety of drinks. But no, we did Baby Shark one year. We did the Power Rangers one year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Trying to think what other are the Mutant Ninja Turtles one year, but I think this is the first year we're not going to have a family costume.
No, do you guys stick around the neighborhood? Do you go to a different neighborhood?
No, we do our neighborhood. It's pretty good. There's enough houses.
Yeah.
What do you get? 2 hours to trick or treat?
I think so. It's like 6 to 8.
Yeah, we get pretty much our neighborhood within the 2 hours.
Yeah,
and he's hustling. I do give him credit. He is like running house to house.
Now. Do you and Jana go, or does somebody stay behind and give the candy out?
So our neighborhood's kind of cool where the way our street is in the cul-de-sac at the end, the one family has, I don't want to say a Halloween party, but they have like finger foods and BYOB.
Okay.
And they have like a 2 or 3 tables set up in a row. And you basically bring your candy and put it in like a spot and put your address in front of it.
Okay.
And everybody leaves a sign in their driveway that says, hey, like, we're at the cul-de-sac, come down there, which is good and bad. You kind of look up our street and you're like, man, all these houses they're lit up, but they're not serving candy.
Yeah.
But if you rough it and you brave it to the end and you get to the cul-de-sac, there's like a table with like 20 different bowls of candy and you can just kind of go crazy there.
Right. Yeah. It's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? You just gotta
exactly.
Yeah. we typically do like a couple houses, like our neighbors that have the older kids that go. We just like hang out now. So we usually will do like our one neighbor has the portable fire pit. So we'll sit out like at the end of one of our driveways and then like just put a sign at the other one that says like candy's down here, and we all put like the three of us put it at a table.
Yep.
So we tried the cul-de-sac one year, but like the cul-de-sac's a little bit far from like where we are in our house, and like I still like feel like people still went to our door. Like I feel like tons of people kept still going to the door because ours is all like lit up. It's not like we have like the lights out, so people don't even go.
Right.
We have all the lights, so everybody goes to it. So I think we'll probably sit on our driveway this year with the fire pit and have a couple of the other people come like to us and tell them like, hey, you don't have to go to those houses. You could just like stop here. So,
yeah, absolutely. And the go-to also, you got to have a pillowcase.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, it holds the most candy. It's the easiest to carry.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of grab it. You don't have to worry about handles or like
nothing's going to fly out of it.
Correct. Yeah, throw it over the shoulder. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. So the last 2 years we've transitioned to the pillowcase, and it's been a game changer. We're hustling now. We're running. I mean,
yeah. Do you bring like a second one? Do you ever have to unload and bring like a set?
We do. We carry. Yeah, we carry a second bag. We carry like an auxiliary bag about halfway through. We down. Not that the pillowcase is filled up, but he's not that big, so it just gets big for him.
Right. Yeah.
So we kind of like downsize a little bit and then keep hustling. And
your neighbor's good for full size candy bars. Is everybody some?
Yeah, we mix and match. I mean, there's a couple houses that we know are full sizers all the way. We got a couple of Turner's tea houses, which are always nice.
Oh, wow.
I usually dip into one of those before we even get back home. And then everybody's generous. No offense to anybody who's no popcorn balls, no candy corns, no quarters.
Yeah, quarters. Or just like an apple, like a random piece.
No
of
apples. Yeah, we everyone's pretty candy centric and pretty good quality here in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Yeah, we're pretty good. I mean, it's a variety. I mean, we usually just get we just went at to Sam's Club and got like 3 big bags of like whatever they had, like just not the big bars, but also not like the little squares, like the fun size. And then we usually say like grab 2, like take 2 or whatever, like just so there's no.
That's what we do. That's exactly what we do.
But yeah, it's a mix in our neighborhood. We have a couple neighborhoods around like Hickory Heights area, like that area. I feel like they have like all full size candy bars. So there was a few years like Logan has friends there, so he would like, can somebody take me there because they have full candy bars? We're going there. We'd take him over and go with his friends, and he'd go around over there and get full size candy bars. And then he'd come back and smell like, what? This is a rip. How do you get those?
That's a neighborhood where you gotta have an alternate mask. You gotta run through it once on one mask and another on your second mask.
Yeah, change everything.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, half the time we eat half the candy anyways. Like we just put it all together in the pantry and then we dig through it and eat whatever we want. It usually doesn't last. What they want, they start moving up in their room. They're smart. They got ones that they want. They start they hide it from us.
Right. They hide the good stuff and give you the scraps.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Leave me like the mellow cup instead of the Reese's cup.
Right. I don't mind a good mellow cup every once in a while, though. I'll be honest.
Nah, see, I can't dig on them.
Every once in a while. Yeah. I mean, I don't crave them, but I'll have one here and there.
Yeah.
Well, it ends up like we'll eat it for like about a month, and then there's still so much left that I end up taking a big bag into work or something.
Yeah, same.
And just like everybody.
One of my teachers, she always does. We put like a box out in our school for the kids to donate for like Meals on Wheels for South Hills.
Yep.
They can always use like the candy. So every year, I mean, huge, like almost like a refrigerator sized box like that I put out in the lobby. The kids will bring it in and almost fill that up. And then she takes it like a week after Halloween. And then they basically have candy to give to like their people that deliver Meals on Wheels all the way through Thanksgiving. It's pretty nice. So,
that's really cool. That's awesome.
It's crazy. Like elementary kids, they're like willing to give up some of their candy for that too, which is too.
Teach them to do the right thing. I like it. It's awesome.
I mean, none of the peanut butter cups make it there because I take those all in the office. But
I pull those out right in between. Yeah,
we sift through them. But so I'm like, yeah, those are coming to me. Who are we kidding? I collected all for me. There's not even Meals on Wheels. It's all a big hoax. And now the cat's out of the bag. Great. I should have down there. Hopefully nobody's from Pleasant Hills watching.
They're gonna be watching you now.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna have the cameras. Like superintendent's gonna be watching the cameras in the lobby.
Right. Mr. Liebertor, to my office, please.
Yeah. And bring all of the Reese's.
Yes. Well, if you have any trees, get them for me too. I like the trees.
Yeah. People are passing out trees at Halloween. That's a ballsy move right there. Somebody's going and getting the trees already in stock.
Skipping 2 holidays.
Correct. Yeah. They don't even have the Reese's turkey out.
Correct. Oh, is there a Reese's turkey?
Oh, I don't know. That could be patent that. Copyright that. Get that right now.
Right. You heard it here first.
Reese's turkey. Heard it on the 544 Port podcast. Reese's. We need credit for that. Or just like lifetime supply of Reese's.
That would be fine too.
We just give us. I don't need percentage. Just.
I can work with that.
So also with Halloween coming up next week, what about like scary movies? Are you a scary movie fan? Like, do you watch scary movies?
I do. I like the scary movies.
Yeah.
I haven't watched as many. Like I said, with the little one, he's not a scary movie guy.
Well, yeah.
And my wife's not a scary movie person.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't either. So like, Savannah kind of, now that she's a little bit older, she gets into them. Logan not so much, but Savannah and I will sit down. Like if we see something, she's like, I want to see that. I'm like, sweet, let's go watch that downstairs. Yeah. Like nobody else will watch it, but she'll watch them with it.
And I think half the fun of watching a scary movie is watching it with someone.
Correct. Right. Yeah. I'm not just gonna go sit by myself and like, oh, let's go watch the new Saw or the new whatever.
Right.
Yeah. You want to experience it with somebody so you can be freaked out together by it.
Exactly. So like, what's your top 5?
Jeez, top 5.
I'm putting you on the spot. It's a lot of, I mean, not top 5, but 5 that you think are good. You know, like
So, I mean, like, you'd have to go back to like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween would definitely be like top 3, I would say, just because those have your classic.
That's your foundation of the horror movies.
Yeah, that's like in growing up, you know, like in grant, like other people might have other things, like as you know, different ages of people have things. Those are like probably my top 3 there. If I had to pick 2 more, I mean, like at our age, the 90s, like the Scream movies were really cool. Like I like the Scream movies.
Screams.
Ghostface. The Scream movies were kind of good because they were more of like a twist. You know, they weren't just kind of just like a slasher killer movie. And then trying to think of like the original Omen was pretty freaky. Like I remember with the old Damien. I don't know, there were some movies from back in the day that were very like
Hellraiser or Children of the Corn.
Yeah, Children of the Corn with Malachi. Yeah, there were some like a lot of the Stephen King ones, kind of like just freaky.
That's what I say. Like what do you consider The Shining a horror movie?
Yeah, Shining's probably up there as like it's there's like such different categories of them because they're like your slasher killer movies, right? Like, you know, this person's just trying to kill everybody in the movie. Then you just have those like crazy weird ones. Like The Shining was definitely like a weird twisted kind of one.
Yes.
Or like I said, the Saw movies, like or weird twisted kind of thing.
Never a fan. What's Freddy? Friday the 13th?
Freddy is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm sorry. Yeah. Never got into those. Didn't really like them.
No, really.
Yeah.
I'd probably say that, like, I feel like growing up back to like I feel like that was probably one of my favorite was like the Nightmare on Elm Street. The original. Some of the other ones got a little cheesy, but the original was pretty good.
See, I like the Halloweens. If I gotta go.
Yeah. He was more I'd say if ranking them, like Michael Myers, I feel like he was just scared. Like he was just scared. Like you would just see him appear right with that mask and that hair. Like I mean, it was just like, oh, like, oh my God. Like I feel like that was like almost like breathtaking away. Whereas Nightmare on Elm Street, I think I like that because it was just the craziness of like not being able to go to sleep. Like this guy's getting you in your sleep, so you can't sleep. Like when you go to sleep, he's killing you in your sleep. This isn't some guy like out chasing you around in real world. This guy's coming and killing you in your sleep. So like that freaked me out. I think growing up and seeing that, just like that gives a weird twist because I think Friday the 13th and Halloween both definitely came out before Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy was like the newer one of our age, but like Jason was just like whatever, like serial killer, crazy person. And so
Jason's what Camp Crystal Lake or Crystal Lake?
Yeah, Jason Voorhees, Camp Crystal Lake. So I mean, he was ski masked, like just whatever, the big like machete or big like knife kind of thing.
Yes,
he was the machete. And I think Michael Myers like the big kitchen knife kind of thing with those.
Yeah. So Jason, one of his early kills, is a famous actor. Could you remember who? I'm trying to give you clues without giving you clues.
Jason was
6 Degrees. He's a 6 Degrees off.
Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Really? And what was that? Then the first?
I believe it's. I think it's the first one or the second one. It's one of his first or second kills in one of the 2 movies. I can't remember which ones. And then, did you ever see The Leprechaun?
Yeah, the Leprechaun.
And what female celebrity got their big screen debut?
In Leprechaun. That's a throwback. I can't remember that.
How about Jennifer Aniston?
She was in a Leprechaun, really?
She was in The Leprechaun. Yeah.
Like, that was her big screen debut with The Leprechaun.
That was her, yes.
There you go. I'd say there was I think Nightmare on Elm Street was it John? It was like Johnny Depp. There was somebody in Nightmare on Elm Street. He played like a young punk kid in that, but I can't remember who the kid was. But he was once again like one of those. They give you like one famous actor in those movies. You know, somebody like that can like be like carry the movie. But
Right.
he was in that one.
How about this one? The Wraith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's a not Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. Charlie Sheen movie.
Okay.
Young teenage Charlie Sheen movie where he drives a car. His brother was killed or something. And he basically drives this like indestructible car and kills all the people that killed his brother.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. Check it out.
All right.
80s throwback. The Wraith.
How about Maximum Overdrive? Remember that one?
Oh yeah, good one.
That was awesome. That was an awesome Stephen King one.
Is that Emilio Estevez?
Yeah. And the car, the big Mack truck had like the Green Goblin on the front of it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So we're like the machines come over and take over the world, which is pretty much going to happen to us sometime soon.
Yeah. I mean, well, then we can flow right into Terminator.
That's right. It goes right into that.
I mean, sure.
Now, did you see any like, so now we're tangenting here, but like the newer Terminators, Terminator Salvation, like any of the newer ones that came out, did you watch any of those? Like, I feel like I saw Terminator T2, the one where the guy was like the weird liquid metal, which might have been T3.
Saw the liquid metal one.
I don't know. I saw much further. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's where I get off to with the liquid metal guy. That's about it's about the end.
Like once Arnold left and they start moving on to like other background stories of Sarah Connor and the son, John Connor. Like, and yeah, I totally never went back and watched any of those. Like, newer versions of it.
No, me neither. I mean, they kept too many sequels. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Sometimes like a good thing's a good thing. Like even like I mean they remade Nightmare on Elm Street. I feel like in the 2000s. Like, and it's like why couldn't you just let that go? Like there's some things just leave it go. Like you don't
just
have to
re-release it
of it. Right?
You're still gonna make your money, right? Well, I mean, I don't know how it works, but
I would think so. Yeah, put it back in the theater. I don't know.
Right. Let the new generation start watching them. And
right. Yeah.
Did you say Savannah wanted to watch the Scream franchise with you?
We did, yeah. So we went back and we watched some of them, and I feel like they held up. Like the older one definitely held up. I think we got through like 3 or 4. There was ones like I think we got the one that I had never seen. They like made some newer ones, like I said, getting into like the 2000s. I don't think I watched them.
Gotcha.
And then there was like there was either a new series or there was something that was out recently on like Netflix or one of the streaming services that was like a Scream series, and we didn't get into watching that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna throw out spoiler alert here. Now, if you've never seen the Screams, but I feel like back in our day, like it was crazy that like the first 5 minutes of the first Scream, like they kill off Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
Huge star.
Right. Yeah. Like you thought she was gonna be like in the whole movie, right? I mean, like the advertiser, like that.
Yeah, and she's out of the movie within 5 minutes. Crazy.
Right.
Sorry if you haven't seen Scream. Didn't mean to ruin that.
I can't remember the name of the movie but I remember my mom and dad went to see it, and there was like 2 big name actors, and I feel like it was like a Steven Seagal and somebody else. It was
I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
It was like a movie on an airplane.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think is it Air Force One?
No, it wasn't Air Force. Air Force One, that was Harrison Ford. He was the president. It wasn't that
okay.
one.
Well, it's Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell dies like in the first however many minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or is it him or does Steven Seagal die? I can't remember which one.
One of them dies.
Yeah, in like the first 5 minutes, and you're like, wait,
yeah,
you're supposed to be the hero that saves the day in this whole movie, right?
Yeah, it might have been Steven Seagal, because I feel like they really liked those Steven Seagal movies back in the day, like For Justice and Above the Law. I think you're right. I think Steven Seagal might have died.
Yeah,
in the beginning, like then it's just like Kurt Russell. It was like a Kurt Russell movie. And
he gets kicked out of an airplane or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets like out of a plane, 100%. Like he just like shocking. It's like, wait, that was the main character. He's gone already.
Right. Like I don't want to watch this.
We'll pull that up. We'll deep dive after that, and we'll throw it up the name of that one.
And all the Steven Seagal movies were all 3 words. It's like Hard to Kill, Out for Death.
Yeah, Above the Law.
Above the Law. Yeah, they were all 3-word movie titles. Sorry.
And he always broke the guy's arm backwards. That was his move. Like it wasn't a movie unless he like broke the guy's arm backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It always like bent backwards like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. That and like the Jean-Claude Van Damme, he had to do like the split kick in every one of his movies.
Yes, it's written in the contract.
Right. Yeah. We had some good action heroes back in the day.
We did.
Good movies.
I mean, nothing's better than a Die Hard for me.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah.
That's my gold standard. That's my number one action movie of all time.
Christmas movie too.
Yes, 100% agree. Christmas movie.
100%.
John McClane saves Christmas.
I agree. I mean, it's not a movie without Christmas. Like, he came home for Christmas. Like, it doesn't happen if
Nope,
it's not
without Christmas, it doesn't happen.
Correct. Right.
And so now that we've turned the 544 podcast into Bill and Justin rate movies, maybe we should move on to something else.
How about football? Let's talk a little bit about football.
Sure.
All right. So before we go to Tigers, let's talk Steelers a little bit, because we had a little talk a few weeks ago about what should the Steelers do to the quarterback controversy, and then Tomlin made a big decision this past week and pulled the trigger. How'd you feel about that?
He did, and I think if we go back in time, I think we were both on board that we wanted to see Russ cook, at least get a look at it.
I agree. If we go back to look at the tape, I can't remember what episode it was. We were both on board with. Yeah,
yep.
It was time to. It was his job. Get him back in there, see what he can do.
And who's going to give you the best chance to win.
Right.
So I don't know if that was a wishy-washy answer, but I think start Russ this week and then reevaluate.
Yeah, I'm on the same board. Like, I feel like they waited a week. They didn't do it the week we said they should do it.
Yes. And I think he proved that he can throw the ball. I think he can read the defense. He can throw the ball well enough to help us win some games. I still like Justin Fields. I think he's very athletic. I think he'll grow into a good quarterback. I think he just needs more time, and let him sit behind the veteran. I mean, he was thrown in, as far as I know, he was thrown in Chicago, thrown into the fire. Maybe didn't get a chance to sit back and learn. He was just kind of like, here's the offense, go out there, make plays.
Right.
So now he maybe can learn some from Russ, and then, we can develop him and maybe sign him next year. But let Russ cook right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like, looking at the comparison, like, we just look like a more complete offense. And I think it's exactly what we talked about. Like, Russ wasn't scrambling. He was making reads, finding guys open in different, like, patterns. Like, he just knew what to look for. Like, he looked at the defense, read the defense, hit open guys, hit guys that weren't open, didn't have to scramble. Whereas I feel like when Fields was in there, not that it was terrible, but he couldn't make the reads, and he would run, and he would get first downs, or he would do things on the run. But, like,
sure,
the NFL's a passing league. Like, we need a QB that can pass and that can sit back there and not rely on his feet to get out of a jam. Need to be able to rely on reading the defense and beat a defense,
Yep.
Like,
I know. I completely agree. And he did. Russ got some help. George Pickens had a great one-handed catch. I think Freiermuth had a nice one-handed catch. But at the same time, I think Van Jefferson's touchdown, at least what I read in the paper, I couldn't really tell, but it was an audible that he kind of checked too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what they were saying on, like, the talk shows too. Is like, you could definitely tell there was times that he came up to the line and made decisions. Like, read the defense and made a decision and checked down, or did like a different play. So couldn't tell live, but all the guys that, like, watch the shows over and over again.
Right. And I like him this Monday night against the Giants as well, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Giants, you just can't have a letdown. Like, you feel like the Steelers always come in, like, and play horrible against, like, a pitiful team. Like, come in and put up 40 points against the Giants. Just beat somebody down, like,
absolutely.
Just don't take your foot off the pedal. Like, I don't think they have anybody. I mean, I'm not afraid of Danny Dimes. Like, I feel like our defense, I don't think they have anybody on offense that scares me. Neighbors is pretty good. They're that rookie receiver. Neighbors is pretty good. But
let's JPJ on him and see what he can do. Shut him down.
Yeah, we have some other, like, Beanie Bishop stepping up. We've had some other people stepping up in the secondary that look really good too.
Yeah, Elliott's been playing great.
Yep. Even Wilson and
Peyton Wilson's been playing. Yep.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson looking like, and going back in coverage and, like, coming up and making plays. Like, he's all over the place.
Yes, I agree. He's young. I like the young talent. I think they're going to keep getting better and better. I think Patrick Queen, he's been quiet, but I think he's still in the learning the defense and reacting mode versus just flying around, knowing where he's supposed to be. I think he'll get there.
Like getting burned over the middle though. Like, we've had some linebackers recently that, like, struggled to cover. Like, you don't see, like, oh, look at him, he can't cover this guy, or he can't, like, he's just not. You're not hearing his name. Like, he's not making splash plays. He's not going in and dominating like some of our big linebackers.
I think he'll get there though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to him. So yeah, I think Najee's been playing great the last 2 weeks too.
Yeah.
Wow. Whether it's, I don't know if I'm sure he's not running harder, but because they're more threatened by the pass, that he's getting more running lanes, or the offensive line stepping up, or what. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like a couple of like, talk show hosts, they mentioned just having a better quarterback that could hit more receivers and open up the passing game, it just brings those guys out of the box too. They now have to watch more people. They're not just watching Pickett. They have to respect that a quarterback's going to hit other people. What do you think about I've heard on the radio this week, Cooper Kupp talks? Do you think there's a chance of that?
So I'm mixed on this. I'm a Cooper Kupp fan.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them get him. I'd like to see them travel back in time 4 years when they get him.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends I'm not giving up anything lower than a 5th rounder.
Yeah, they're saying they want 2 for him. I can't imagine giving a 2 with his injuries. He immediately improves our offense and our weapons, but is injury prone and he hasn't had a full season in the past 2 seasons, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he missed I think all of last season.
Right.
I think he's missed 2 or 3 games this year already.
Yeah, that's it's nervous to give up a round 2 pick for that. That's a little nervous.
No, I wouldn't even. I like him. I think he's a great player. I just think he's a little old. Is he going to be a rental? Are we going to give up like I said, I wouldn't give up anything to get him for a year.
Right.
If we sign him to a 2-year deal, 2 or 3 year deal, then maybe all right. If he's around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would like to see something opposite of Pickens, some kind of threat.
Yeah.
I had higher hopes for Calvin Austin. I thought he was going to stretch the defenses, that 4.3 speed.
Yeah. Van Jefferson too. But I mean, once again, this is only seeing Wilson's first game. So maybe just having more options, maybe they did something different with Fields that they won't with him, and maybe we'll open some guys up. I don't know.
That's possible too. You're 100% spot on. So maybe this will be a better test of they open the playbook up a little bit more, know what they have with Russ, and see where we go from there.
I don't worry about a new receiver. You just let them open it up. See.
Exactly. So moving from the pros to college.
Yeah.
The playoffs coming out. We had some upsets this past week. The number 1 team, Texas, got beat by 4 or 5 Georgia. So that shakes that poll up.
Okay.
Penn State, I believe, 2 or 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an in-house team. Yeah, I think it is. Is it Oregon? Actually, it might be 2. Oregon, Penn State. I should have researched this a little bit more, but
shooting off the cuff here.
Yeah, probably look at if there was only some kind of device that I could look this up on. You could
just search something on.
Yeah.
I know Pitt was on a bye, and they still jumped up in the standings, so that's pretty good. So that means
I think they have Syracuse this week?
Syracuse Thursday night, so by the time this airs.
So last night.
Last night, yes. So it was a great victory for Pitt. So proud of them. It was a great game.
The prognosticator of prognosticators calling that now?
Yeah. It was last night. So I'm just saying they won. So
That's true.
Ready to win. Funny thing is, for some reason, I don't know what it was. I thought the game was last Thursday. 100% thought it was last Thursday. So that's why I was saying we couldn't record. There was stuff going on last week. I'm like, I can't do Thursday. I went on the game time app to get tickets. Was ready to get tickets and everything. And I don't I just had my weeks off, and I was gonna get Logan to go. My neighbor Mike, he's a Syracuse guy, so him and his son Nick, we were all was trying to plan out this whole thing to go. And then Nick ended up having to work. Something ended up, and we're like, oh, we're not going to go. And I was like, fine, I'll go see Savannah's volleyball game. It doesn't matter. I won't go to the game. And then Logan was like, Mike was saying he thinks it's next week. I'm like, Mike's crazy. No, it's not next week. And then I was at the volleyball game, and I had my Pitt socks on. I had my Pitt jersey. I had a Pitt jersey on at school that day. I was all out for the game. And I'm at the volleyball game. There's one buddy there. We're talking about. He goes, they're on a bye this week, right? And I'm like, they're not playing Syracuse tonight. He's like, no, it's next Thursday. I'm like, oh, man, I'm glad I didn't buy the tickets. I'm planning on going down. I'd have been everyone down there.
So did you go last night?
No, we did not go last night. Just watched on TV. It was a great victory. So proud that they did a great job.
Great.
Moving up the standings again.
Good. And speaking of moving up in the standings, your McKeesport Tigers with another convincing victory.
Yes. So 54-0. They clobbered Indiana. That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
and who do we have tonight?
So we are playing Knock tonight. So let's see. Yeah, we should be able to beat them. So we're 4-0 in the conference. Last game of the season here. So we beat Knock. We sweep the conference. We go 5-0 and get a first round bye, I'm assuming.
Excellent.
I don't know how that whole thing works, but
good.
But last week, just here's some stats to throw out there.
Please.
Brady Eastman, quarterback, went 5 for 7, 117 passing yards, 2 TDs, and a rushing TD in just the first half.
Wow, nice
That's
game.
impressive.
Yeah.
Did you ever throw 100 yards in a game? Did you ever had 100 passing yards in a game?
I think my senior year, I had one.
Senior, not our championship season.
The Penn Hills game was close. I think I only completed 2 or 3 passes.
Yeah.
They're all pretty long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like any passes you had were just like long. Like they either went for a touchdown or very big, but we just didn't have that many in each game. Like there weren't multiple of them in a game.
Yes. So those are the only 2 that I think would have been 100-yard season or passing games for a season.
And then Eastman is the son of our linebacker, Bob Eastman, number 15.
Double nickel Bob Eastman. Yep.
He was our linebacker. We talked a little bit about him a few weeks ago with his puking routine coming up. And there's another connection on that team, Anthony Cromarty. He's the nephew of Jermaine and Jeremiah Cromarty, who also were on our state championship team. So last week he scored twice in the first quarter, once on a 4-yard run, and then also he had a 58-yard punt return.
Nice.
So some of our, I guess, 94 family traditions carrying on with the current team, which is pretty impressive.
Excellent. Hopefully they can continue that. I wonder if, and we can probably check this too, I wonder if they're going to have any 1,000-yard rushers this year. Or passer. I don't mean to leave you out there, Eastman Jr.
I feel like they've got to be close, especially Spell and Cromarty. Like I said, I feel like there was a couple weeks ago, I read that stat about like there was that one game they rushed like 6 times but had like 300 yards or something.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous. They had some really
wild stat.
Yeah, like a wild stat. So maybe we'll figure that out maybe after this last week when we talk next week. We'll do like a recap because if they win and they get a bye, we won't really have a game to talk about, but we can have kind of a recap of the season.
Excellent. And I think, and I don't know his first name, but Boyd is the last name.
Okay.
And his brother was a great running back last year.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's a sophomore or junior. He's a great running back too. So they have 3 very talented running backs.
So Boyd,
Spell
had a brother that was a running, because Spell had one too, right? Didn't Spell have?
He did. His brother was a running back. Yep.
Yeah. So they both had older brothers that were running backs. So like Boyd and Spell both.
I think they both graduated last year.
Okay. They're both seniors. Okay.
Yep.
Is Boyd a senior this year? Is this Boyd a senior this year?
I don't know if he's a senior or junior. And I wish I could think of his. I keep wanting to say Anthony.
Okay.
But I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's really good. I think he's just getting overshadowed by how productive Spell and Cromarty are being.
Right. And Spell's a sophomore, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's the number 1 recruit in Pennsylvania.
Right. That's
great. Running back recruit. I don't know if he's overall or not.
He's not. Heard Penn State, he's not like a lock, right? Like, I mean,
I think he signed with Penn State.
He committed as a sophomore. Okay.
Yes. Or probably verbally. I don't know.
Right. I don't think you can do anything until you're a junior, like officially. Like,
right.
Technically, you're not allowed to talk with everything. So.
Correct.
So thinking back to our year at this time, so we were 9-0. We just came off a game against Gateway, which was a little struggle, 17-0. Wasn't a blowout like we had a couple times. So I was watching the highlight film last week it was a little bit back and forth. So we came in, we're playing Plum last game of the season. How did you feel going into that game?
So Plum, if I remember right, maybe 28-0.
I think it was a little bit higher than that, actually.
Okay.
Let me look on the sheet back here behind me. 34 now. So
34-0.
You're close. You're close.
It's close.
Touchdown.
I feel like we were even though we won 34-0, I feel like we were very underwhelming for the game.
Yes.
I don't know if it was because we had already clinched the section or if we were just complacent. And again, when you look at 34-0, you guys crushed them. I feel like we had some really big plays, obviously. I mean, that was kind of our MO, but besides those big plays, we really couldn't do anything.
Right.
So it was kind of like, it was almost, I actually remember being yelled at not me personally, but like our team, like at halftime, like, you guys better, wake up, start playing, like, because you're going to lose. And I don't know what the halftime score was, and I'm sure obviously we were winning, but they were not happy with our performance, and I know we didn't finish well. And, they made it well known that, everybody in our conference was tough and we need to come to play every week.
Yeah. Let's watch some of those highlights. This was the highlight film that we tried to link a few weeks ago, and copyright issues. So I'm going to turn the volume off so that Spotify and YouTube don't yell at us for playing songs that we're not allowed to play. I'll turn it down low. So You see it? You see the video?
I see it, but it's like all stills.
Oh, okay.
Because for whatever reason, it's not running smooth. Yeah, it's like choppy.
Pass from you to Glenn Allen got down to like 4 running touchdowns. Rutherford, extra point. Yeah, I watched this a little bit today, kind of prepping for the show, and it's like you said, there was like not a ton of like it seems like there's like a lot of back and forth. So you'll see like us on defense, and you'll see us on offense.
It got really loud over here for whatever reason.
You say I'm really loud?
No, the music got really loud.
Oh, the music did. Okay, I want to turn it down. I want to turn the music off. That way we don't get cited and get canceled again.
Yes. I'm still on Put's extra point. So that's
Are you?
Yeah, that's how fast
you're not seeing any of it. So
nope.
I feel like as far as our highlights go, like when you look at like our highlight film, there's some like big hits, but there's not like a lot of big great plays like interception. Like there's just not like a ton of, as you would say, like highlight film. It's like a lot of good plays, like just tackles, nothing like that stands out. That I feel like that's probably how the game went. There was like a couple touchdowns here and there, but no huge big splash plays.
And I think that's kind of how I remember it. Was just kind of like we'd already clinched the section. Like I don't want to say we knew we were going to win, but it was kind of like there was nothing that they had that made us scared. It wasn't like Penn Hills. It wasn't like Gateway. It wasn't like Woodland Hills. We kind of were just like, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them something to nothing.
Right.
And we almost went through the motions, and we got a wake-up call. I mean, like I said, even though the score showed, a significant win, I think the coaches made sure we knew that we had to come to play every week after that game.
Right.
Which probably helped us in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, probably figuring out we're not just going to like coast through the playoffs here,
Exactly.
I think you just threw that was a big passing touchdown right there. That was probably a 60-yard touchdown there to Drew. So,
and that might be the only one.
Yeah. I was going to say a couple other passes in there, but I don't think any other ones went for touchdowns.
Gotcha.
A couple special teams plays, a couple like just fumbles, mess ups on like kickoffs and things like that.
Right.
Most of our touchdowns though were like within the 5-yard line. Like we're just like short little touchdowns. No big like long runs like we've had in other games. They're usually just like we like march down the field, just kind of like take chunk plays and then score from close.
Just methodical.
Yeah.
Straight down the field and.
Correct. That's like from other of these videos that we've watched or highlights we've watched. There's always been like, dude, look at that big run, or look at this like big thing going down the sidelines. Like there was just like another touchdown there. It was maybe from the 10th. Like there's not a big long run like in some other teams we've.
Gotcha. Yeah.
34.
And was this our last game before the playoffs?
That was, yeah. So then the next one was quarterfinals versus Greensburg. Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, like I said, I don't know what we were thinking per se, but I think we took them a little light.
Yeah, like I said, wake up call. Didn't hurt to have a little wake up call before going into the playoffs.
No, not at all.
At least it wasn't a loss, right? At least they kept the perfect season alive. They didn't score. It wasn't like they came close to beating us. It just wasn't a dominant performance.
Exactly. Do you remember that, Donald? Do you remember that with the like halftime them kind of yelling at us and?
Don't, unfortunately.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was just again basically like get your heads out of your butts and start playing and stop taking people for granted.
Right. Don't play your games.
Yeah. And I think we played better in the second half, but still not up to the standards we were used to.
Well, let's hope this year's team in the last week of the season doesn't do that. Like they need to. I feel like they need to clean the house here in the conference and go 5-0 because I think right behind them. I'm gonna double check this. I think the team that's in second place, they're playing Indiana.
Okay.
Which is gonna be like Indiana's the worst team.
They're gonna win.
They're gonna win, right? Yeah. So if they don't win, I think they would both be. I mean, it would be like they'd have the same record, but we would have the tiebreaker over them.
Gotcha.
Let's see standings. Yeah, so we're 4-0. Mars is 3-1. If we lose and they win, we'll both be 4-1. But we have the tiebreaker over them, I would say, because we beat first.
We beat them.
We'll still be first, but I feel like it's a little bit better being 5-0 in the conference.
Oh, for sure.
Than going 4-1. Like you don't want to have that loss, especially your last game going in the playoffs.
Yeah, we want that first round, whether it's a bye or first or number 1 seed or whatever.
Yeah, you want that seed
for sure.
Hopefully they get a bye. I don't know how many teams make it anymore. I don't know what I don't know how the standings work and how everybody.
No, I don't know the standings either.
How many teams they take? Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Right. I guess I guess next week we'll get a clearer picture of what's happening, who they're playing, if they're playing. We'll be able to dissect that. And for the people who are listeners, we are apologizing. We were hoping to have a guest on this week, but schedules happen, life happens, and instead you get to listen to Justy and I hang out in PS for a little while.
Right. So for those of you that were hanging on for the past 50 minutes waiting for us to bring our person on, don't worry, you don't have another 40-minute interview with somebody. We don't have somebody. We had them lined up like we talked about. We had a whole plan for the whole season, and sometimes we get curveballs and things come up. Life comes up. People don't have flexible schedules sometimes, and things come up. We have to be flexible. So hopefully those guys that couldn't get on the past couple of weeks that we've been working around, we'll get them back on at some point as well. Especially if we go deep in the playoffs, we'll need some weeks to fill.
So if you're a listener and a player, get at me. But like I said, we got a list of who we want to. Or not who we want to. We want to get everybody on. If we could get everybody on, we'd love to do that. But we're trying to get to as many people as possible. So
anybody, like Bill said, if there's people out there that listen, that we're on the team that want to come share their story, we'll have a spot for you at some point. So.
Yep.
I don't know, Bill. Anything else?
No, I mean, I enjoy catching up with you always, so it's a win for me.
Agree. Next week will be the after Halloween show, so we can talk about our favorite candy that we got. I'm sure we'll talk about food again.
I'm sure. I will try to eat dinner beforehand.
Yeah, might want to do that.
All right. It's probably too late for me now. This will be it. But no, I enjoyed talking. Hope you enjoyed our movie reviews and our pro college and high school breakdowns. And next week we have some guests scheduled. Hopefully they will come through for us. And if not, sure we'll have something to talk about.
We'll find something. We'll always find something to talk about.
Absolutely.
Always something we can catch up on. All right. So let's, I guess we'll do our cheers to 30 years, buddy.
Man, cheers to 30 years.
All right. Drink that. And stay tuned for next Friday at 5:44 when the next Port podcast drops.